Have you ever seen an interracial relationship that was acceptable to you?
No interracial relationship is acceptable because we have too many black women who are unmarried. Black women are the largest population on the planet Earth. If you can't find one in America, get it from Africa. If you can't,
So wait, hold on, hold on.
This is part of what's wrong in general with the mentality around dating now. You hear people say like, oh, like if he doesn't check your boxes, find someone who will. If this, that. This guy saying marry black women. If you can't find in America, go to Africa. Like, are they shoes? You know, it's reducing people from being human beings to just statistics.
Exactly, just
so it's
on
like
the paper.
You're dating someone. Why? Because they check this box and this box and this box and this box and this box.
It's like there's a lot more deeper connection to that than just people on the paper. Right? I think that's, to me, in my opinion, Dr. Umar, like, I'm calling waffle on you for that one.
Caribbean, go to Canada, go to Europe. Why would a black man need to copulate, build a family with anything other than a black woman when you have so many black women available? It is an exercise in self-hatred.
I mean, if you're in the environment, sure, you know.
I mean, he said it is an exercise in. He says it is an exercise in self-hatred if you choose to marry anything that is not a black woman. So does that mean? So for example, if I'm dating a white person, does that mean I hate myself? Does that mean I hate? To me, that doesn't make any sense, Dr. Umar. I'm sorry.
Let me say this though. So we both grew up in Africa. I grew up in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I think you also grew up in Nigeria and Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
I never thought for 1 second about interracial relationships because there's no white girls around me growing up. I didn't even think it's who's around you that you date.
Exactly.
I never thought about there's no like interracial dating politics in Nigeria or anything. And it's just sad to see him say it this way. Like very statistics based.
I think honestly probably the environment he grew up in as well in America because
get around. Maybe there are people who want to date out of their race out of self-hatred. That's unfortunate. But I don't think that even doing that will heal the self-hatred. They will
just
still
gonna make it worse, pretty much.
It would just probably make it worse.
Exactly, like it's still gonna be there. Like I definitely don't think you dating someone outside of your race is because of self-hatred.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there are some people who have, let's say, there are some Asians who have preferences of dating a white person, or maybe there's a black person who has a preference of dating a snowball.
No, hey, bro. There's some words needs to be censored on this podcast. I'm not gonna curse anymore.
Hey, I apologize. Maybe
man says nobody.
Hey, maybe there.
I heard that's a racist term. Did you know?
It's a racist term.
I heard that's.
Hey, my bad.
But probably I don't know. Here's what.
But do you think like it's wrong to have a preference? Let's say you like dating. Chinese people.
I don't think it's wrong to have a preference. I think people like this actually make people feel guilty about admitting their preferences. Mm-hmm. I once met an Asian guy that says he knows exactly who he wants to marry and that it must be a German, blue-eyed, blonde girl.
Hella specific.
With gazonkas.
Oh my God.
He said this at church, bro.
At church? Probably know this dude. If you're watching this, you're gonna get cooked on Sunday.
No, there's no way you find him. But here's what. People like this will make that guy feel bad for having those preferences. Yeah. For me, I was trying to let him know that if it's a fetish, then you're not helping yourself. Like, do you know why you're attracted to that? Mm-hmm. If it's from a place of, I hate myself so much that I want to be completely opposite and get involved with something that's completely opposite from me, then that's a bad thing.
It is.
You need to do it from a place of love. But you are entitled to like who you like.
Exactly.
We're just coming out of an era where people were ashamed to have their preferences. I'll be honest.
Especially 20, 30 years
there
ago.
was for a long time. Not for a long time. There was a while where my preference was Imogen. Do you know Imogen Poots?
Imogen Poots.
You wouldn't. Almost no one knows this actress. Like, she was this goofy next door kind of girl.
Has there been any movie that she's acting or any?
I think Now You See Me, or I don't know. I'll put up a clip of whoever it is.
For sure.
But for a long time, I couldn't admit that was one of my. So I'm someone who you could call me the can man. I like everybody.
Okay.
But there was a time where I was like, You know, she's funny in the movies.
She could be. She could
yeah,
be my thing.
but I felt like, maybe I'm not allowed to do that. Well, says who? You know,
Says Dr.
I
Umar.
think some of these things. This is actually before Dr. Umar became alive. But you know, first of all, having a crush is just weird, bro, because it's mostly secondary school stuff, right?
Right.
But my current crush is actually a Japanese woman.
Damn.
Who's she's an actress. Okay, I don't have a crush, but I'm like, damn.
She bad.
I'm like, damn, this might be the finest woman alive, bro.
Really?
I'll put up a picture of her on the screen, bro.
Now I want to see her.
Like, she's acting in a series called Shogun.
Showroom.
And then I found out she was 5 feet. God.
Let me check if she bad a little bit.
She was 5 feet. And the protagonist was like 3 feet tall. Like,
This one.
yes.
Damn, yo. Okay, I see.
I said, you need to see her in the show. Like, put like the images. You put the images
On the show?
in the Japanese attire. Bro, look at this shit. I don't know, I see myself marrying her. I'm kidding.
Maybe I should go to Japan for real.
Maybe I should go, but here's what.
She's calling to me.
You can appreciate BOT. And I don't think that's fetishization. Like, I never thought about Japanese women ever in my life before. And I saw this, her in the show, and I was like, you know what, this woman's actually pretty. I think everybody can tell there's a universal understanding of
Who's pretty or not.
of someone that's pretty or not.
Yeah.
But here's what, let's go back to the second video.
All right. Hey, yo, this shit's kind of funny. Any girl that wouldn't go 50-50 is a red flag, and she was there.
You know
Yo,
what?
what's your thoughts on this, dude? What the fuck? What do you think about this? I'm sorry.
You know what?
Look how far. Like, you guys just died.
It's funny, the leg work is
Okay,
crazy.
sorry. Okay, go.
The leg work on that is crazy. The leg work is crazy. But here's what though. I think, sure, if you are like extremely rich or extremely well settled, like there's no point doing 50-50. But in this economy, if let's say you're earning 70K a year, which is a very great salary for most people.
Yeah.
Most people will never earn that. Some maybe they're even luckier, earning like 120K. And you were both living in a place, for example. It just doesn't make sense if both of you are using your expenses, like both of you are using your salary to pay for everything, and the other person keeps everything and does whatever they want.
I agree.
It's just like basically handicapping yourself for nothing. I think that doesn't make sense. It's not feasible with the current times. I think if you're definitely earning lower than that, then it should be a rule. Like, it shouldn't even be a debate, because it's a relationship. And you know, what's the equality we've been fighting for all these years? If two people are earning around the same thing, then they don't want to do the same thing. You know.
Honestly, to play to play devil's advocate, I think, in my opinion, or just how I want to live my life, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like every man has that desire in him to provide, whether you are
That's not true, bro.
18 or 21.
And
At least deep down,
most men have that desire to
most
provide.
men, okay, they wouldn't show it, but I think just deep down, there's that innate part of you that wants to provide. Honestly, I think that's the main essence
Provide
of you being a
what?
man.
Like, I think that this is a modern age concept.
Yes, you're right. You know,
Here, let me just try and explain what I mean here.
okay.
I don't think when human beings were, if you believe in evolution or that we were created and born here,
Yeah.
I don't think God said, okay, for example, with religion, did God say, Adam, I put you on earth to provide? No, God already provided.
Okay.
So how can Adam have an innate desire to provide?
Dude.
It just doesn't add up.
I'm speaking from my perspective.
Okay.
innit?
I agree. I agree that
Yeah,
you're
right. Obviously, like I'm
just trying to-
pretty sure there might be. Dude, I'm very sure there's somewhere in the Bible that it says the main role of a man is to provide. I'll probably look for it somewhere and find it, right? But I think for me, how I want to live my life is I want to be able to cater for the people that are close to me. My mom, my dad, my girlfriend. I think when I was dating, right, the things that made me the most happiest was when I would get my girlfriend something, or when I would get my partner something back then, and just seeing the smile on her face, or when I would get my mom a gift, just seeing her smile, or when I would help a friend with something, just seeing them smile. So I think from that perspective, that's how I would want to live my life. Now, with this video, when you say any girl that won't go 50-50 is a red flag, I think that's just stupid. I think that's not true, because I think nowadays things are hard. It's not easy for everyone. If you and your partner are making each 40K a year, like, obviously at that point, like, give or take, you have to both find a way or middle point to handle things, right? But I think if there's a huge disparity between you and your partner, then you as a man should obviously try to pay for all the bills, and all the bills, but at least carry this huge chunk of the of the things.
I think what helps, as we mentioned once, was communication. If you guys communicated about something like this, I don't think it will be a problem.
Indeed.
And there's no one size fits all for how a relationship should go.
Exactly.
Most of the problems that are happening in a relationship, only the two people involved should even
Discuss it,
attempt
right? Yeah.
to. It's crazy that people be going through something in a relationship and then go ask someone else that has their own set of experiences and their own biases, and add that as a layer of input.
You have to be careful with the advice you get. Like, I'm seeing, some names that I can't mention, man, like Andrew Tate in it, saying that, go do like,
this guy trying to get us canceled before we start.
Like, the thing is, just be careful with the advice you hear, even from us, dude. Like, just be careful. You take it for what it is, and just if you can apply it, apply it. If you can't, it is what it is, right? But just whoever you watch, whatever you take out there, just be careful with what you do. But like you said, the most important thing is you and the person you're with should have that hard conversation. Okay, who's gonna pay for the house? Who's gonna pay for the car, kids' school, whatever it is, right? Like, at some point when you get to that age,
I think this guy has a child he's hiding somewhere.
Dude, nah.
He said kids' school. I'm like, what?
I mean, maybe I got twins,
Yeah.
Project Mbappe and that, but nah.
Project Mbappe and LeBron.
Project Mbappe, but nah. But I think one thing I hate is when there are like certain girls who their only thing is that, no, like, if you ain't buying me this, if you ain't buying me a Chanel bag, like, fuck, I ain't going on a date. Like, the girls that are expected or that expect you as a man to, like, always, like,
We're also gonna make an episode later on about red flags, and because red flags are so huge, that you can't make it in like 10 minutes. But I will say this though, ignore red flags at your own peril. People will tell you exactly. Look, if you go on a date with someone, what are their hobbies? Traveling.
That's not a hobby.
We see traveling. What else?
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie.
Oh,
I'm a foodie.
Better run.
Dude, I'm a foodie. I like food. Like, bro, who doesn't like food? What are you talking about? Like, I was watching this video a few years ago, right? I think I was just put it up somewhere, right? And this guy took this girl on a date. So, he took this girl to a cheesecake factory. I don't know if you heard the story.
Oh, right? I think it was a very popular thing before.
Yeah, like 2 months.
That he went to
a cheesecake
he took
factory.
her to cheesecake factory, and she started acting up.
Yeah, and she was like, "Why we take a whole me to the
cheesecake factory?" She thought she was too big for
a cheesecake
factory.
Dude, I would eat cheesecake. Like, that shit is good. I ain't gonna lie. Like, cheesecake factory. I ain't never been there, but like, the menu is fire. So just like, try to stay away from entitled people like that. Like, dude, if you like someone and the person likes you back, they would do anything. Going for a walk in the park, they would do it. Just eating Cheetos.
Honestly,
that's
real though. That's
they
real.
Would do it. Like, it's
I'm
real.
not the one to like tell you what to do with your life or anything. But I would just say, like, from my personal experiences, what I've noticed is that the people that like you, anything, like even going for a walk, like, that's so much to them.
Facts.
You don't have to take them to, I don't know, 5-star hotel before you're appreciated. If you come across someone that's like that, is that the kind of person you want to be with anyways? Someone who, in fact, I would say that, why is it people who are extremely rich, like billionaires, once Michael Jackson paid so much to get a shopping experience,
really,
for what it's like for a normal person to shop at the grocery. I heard once that Beyonce doesn't know what it's like to just walk down the street.
Really?
Yeah, because it's the price they have to pay, I guess, for
Being
fame
that
and being
famous,
that
right?
famous.
Damn.
But there are things that they would love to do that the normal, average people do and take for granted that they just can't do.
Damn.
But we take that for granted, and some people are like, "Oh, I'm too big to do this." It's
Dude,
like,
if you actually
okay,
think about it, people like Beyonce and Jay-Z might never ever know what it feels like to just take a train and go to the next city.
they don't. I doubt that.
Or just take the bus and go to
Like they probably knew when they were younger, but
pretty
now,
much. But now, like, they can never
Foreign
ever
concept.
experience that. Or just go to a park and just sit down. Like,
yeah, foreign
that's
concept.
actually tough. But hey, give me a 1 billion and a shit ton of Grammy Awards, and hey, I will exchange all of that in a minute. Nah, I'm kidding. In a hug.
Careful what you wish for.
Careful. Nah, you're right. But anyways, dude. Yes, sir. So now we want to end it off with a question that we had
Yeah,
earlier
if you
that we're
watched to
gonna
this point,
answer.
I appreciate you. And we have one last part from this segment that's
Uno.
very, very helpful.
Yes,
hopefully.
sir. What's the question, baby?
So, we've spoken about relationships, we've spoken about healing we've spoken about the aftermath of breakups.
Heartbreaks.
We've reacted to
Man like Dr.
Mr.
Umar.
Mr. Umar. So, Akin,
Yes,
if
sir.
you were to tell yourself at like 18, like 19, what would you tell yourself as relationship advice? Like 3 things that you would tell a younger version of you
I
that
think,
you know now that you didn't know then.
yeah, I think the theme of this podcast has been one word. I think that's communication. I think communicate. Don't just assume that.
Banger.
Don't just assume, because you want something that the other person should automatically know it. You have to go into a relationship and discuss what makes you happy, your needs, and you have to also let them tell you their needs, and find a way to match both of your needs and see if it works. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, don't keep things to yourself and build, a slight unconscious hatred for your partner because they didn't do a certain thing for you, right? So I think for me the biggest thing is like just communicate. That's what has worked. That's what I would tell my 18 or 19-year-old self. And yeah, how about you? What would you say?
Well, first of all, I want to say that for sure communication is great. And what you mentioned about resentment is really, really interesting. I actually made a video about this. Resentment is a very, very silent relationship killer.
It is.
Because resentment piles up very, very little, and it's almost so negligible until the point that you realize I wouldn't say you hate the person, but especially after the fact, you find that a lot of people hate the other person. Why? Some of that resentment has been building for a while.
Up, cooking.
And it's stuff that when they're still so in love, they say, I can overlook this, is so tiny. But it's stacking up.
Exactly.
I would say never let resentment build, and just kill resentment before it can build up by not being a coward in the name of peace. So that's my first thing. And I'm
Not being a coward in the name of peace.
I'm just talking to guys here. Don't be a coward in the name of peace. Like, I've seen so many scenarios where, like, in the name of peace, the guy just goes along with it, and then
to avoid headaches.
Yeah, to avoid headaches, but only creates resentment in the long run. So, but if he spoke up and says, hey, I don't want to go to this party, or I don't want to travel to Amsterdam, or I don't want to go to this wedding, if you're honest about that, resentment wouldn't build, rather than letting yourself go to the wedding and then acting all mad when you are at the wedding. So that's one of them. The second thing I would say is having clear boundaries and enforcing those boundaries. One thing is that people are trying to seek connections, right? Yeah. And it's also tied to the fact of not being a coward in the name of peace, because if you don't have clear boundaries in the name of, I'm just trying to keep the peace, you end up creating more problems in a relationship. If you have clear boundaries, when something bad happens and you say, hey, I didn't like this, and you use open communication, you talk about what you didn't like and why, it will help your relationship better.
100%.
And enforcing boundaries is very, very important. One thing is that in life in general, dating, people will test your boundaries not because they want to test it, but they don't know. They don't know, for example, how far can we go? They don't know, can I call this guy an idiot? Can I call his mom an idiot?
Bro.
Can I step on him? Can I piss on him? Can I pour shit on his head? Okay, I'm sorry for making this graphic. But literally, people don't know when to stop. If you give people an arm, they will take your leg as well. So, but in relationships, it's more of a thing that some people are looking for security. I can speak for, as a guy, that some women, it's just innate to look for security because men, let's face it, a lot of guys, more on average, the male is bigger than the woman on average. But of course, there are outliers and all this, all that.
Like you mean like in terms of like body size and like
on average.
Yeah,
on average. But here's what. That causes people to want security in the partner, and they will test to see if this guy has any boundaries. Because if he doesn't have boundaries, how can he protect them?
I would even test like just get a boxing glove.
It's very soft because women can't do this physical stuff. So
True.
It's emotional kind of boundary testing they will start with. And what good are you if you are a big 6'5", 6'6", insanely strong, but you're a pushover? At the end of the day, that's what leads to a lack of respect in a relationship, and that will also kill a relationship. Lastly is don't overshare and focus on building connections based on a journey you're taking together. In the early stages, it's common to, in an effort to try and connect, it's very, very possible to overshare, to say things you don't need to say. When you're about to say something, think about, do they need to know this? The thing is, it's tricky because they will ask you stuff. They want to know everything. But at the same time, you have to make your boundaries clear. They don't have to know everything. And also, of what use? So someone wants to know my mom's birthday. What use is that to you right now? If it's of no use, then you don't need to say it. I need to say you're not saying it. Rather focus on the journey you're taking together. Go out on dates. Go to be in different scenarios together. See what this person is like in different scenarios. So you have a better understanding of this person and know how, what you're getting into, rather than thinking overshare, share. Maybe if I tell them my whole life story, they will understand me and they will know me, and we have a great connection. But there are people that maybe you went to school with, they know so much about your life history, but you don't feel the same level of connection as someone you met, 3 months ago. So what does that tell you? That tells you that connection is not built on the amount of words you say to the other person. So yeah, that's where I end my notes. It's been
you were locked in for a minute right there. Like I was like, I'll let him cook for a bit.
It's a podcast.
Dude, one final question, right? Just to end on a little light, funny note.
Yeah.
What would your ideal first date be?
Bro.
What would it be? Cause mine is like, dude,
yeah,
I want to go to the court with you and play basketball 1v1.
Bro,
I want to see you get dunked on.
This guy trying to date LeBron.
I want to see you get dunked on, and your response will determine if we can progress to the next stage.
Damn, bro.
Now, if you
I feel bad for any girl that
right?
can't do play basketball with this guy.
Now, if I dunk on you, and then you feel like I'm a bit sad you dunked on me. Hey, you out the door. But if you're going out, they'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're gonna go again. I want to see you do that shit again because I like competitiveness. So that's my ideal first date.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. It is
Just
what it is. Everyone's entitled to whoever you date.
But yeah, 1v1 basketball, you're getting cooked.
Yeah,
for
1v1.
Sure. Or football, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Bowling. I just like competitiveness.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Anyways,
I would say,
how about you?
I would say for me, I actually don't have an ideal first date in mind. FIFA, football, anything. Bowling, laser tag, shooting, creating a bomb, blowing up a planet. I'm joking.
Bruh.
But like anything that helps you understand the person better and
for sure
is great. Anything that's not sitting down in one room to talk like you're having therapy.
Like an interview or some shit.
Like an interview. I'm done with that stuff,
I hate
bro.
dinner dates for real. But yeah. Anyways,
thank you very much for watching. I sincerely doubt anyone watched to this point. If you actually did, say, hey, I watched till this point. And I thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know if I expect that.
Anyways, my guy, it's been lit as always. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
was lit.
Nice one, man.
Yes, sir. Man, that's
I mean,
episode 2 down.
Yeah. I don't think you have the energy for another podcast. No chance.
Fuck all that.